I made this badge completely from my browser using a free design tool that in my opinion is a hidden gem in the design world, and it's a tool that's so common that you've probably seen it and you didn't even know it. And the tool I'm talking about is Framer. When you think Framer, you definitely think website builder, right? But there's so much more to it. Quick disclaimer, Framer did reach out to me to sponsor this video. I've used them in the past to build websites. So when they reached out to me saying, hey, design something in Framer, of course I had to say yes, and they have zero say-so in what I say or do. All opinions are my own. So with that out of the way, let's get to the video. So we're gonna use this design as like a sort of reference, and actually let me make it a little bigger so you guys can really see it. Now, I already have a frame setup which kind of acts like a document or an artboard in Illustrator. So if you want to create a frame, you just click on frame and you can, drag it out. But I already have one, so I'm just going to duplicate this. All right, so I just deleted everything. We have our blank frame or artboard, if you want to call it that. And if you go on the left-hand side here, you're going to see not only your pages, but you're also going to see your layers, and it's going to work just like you're used to in, let's say, Photoshop, where you have like stacks, right? So whatever layer's on top is going to be on top, whatever's on bottom is going to be on bottom. So all you have to do is start, creating things, and you're going to see the layers appear. We're first going to start off by creating an oval. So let's go ahead and do that. And you can also just press O on your keyboard to go to the oval tool, and you can center using the alignment options on the far right-hand side here. So let's center it vertically and horizontally, and we're good to go. Now let's go ahead and copy it. So Command C, Command V, it's going to paste it in the center, and you won't see it obviously, but if we change the fill color under styles, you're going to see it easier. So check this out. And I'm holding an option right now to resize it, proportionately, if you will, and to the center. And let's actually make this black. Now we need to create this like banner in the center. So in order to do that, I'm just going to duplicate both of these and bring them over to the right real quick. And we are actually going to resize both of these real quick. And we can resize this top circle, the outer circle. On the inner one, we can make it a little bit bigger as well. By selecting both ovals, you can see on the layer palette that they're both selected. You actually can use the Pathfinder options that appear on the right-hand side here to subtract that top circle, which is the black one, from the bottom one. Now we can even take it a step further if we want to, and let's create another oval. And this one we're just going to use to cut out the bottom to create this sort of like, almost like a ribbon in a way, I guess. But, I don't like calling it that. But it's, we'll call it like a banner. There you go. All right, cool. So there we go. And we can also use subtract again. And we just want to basically select the subtract group that was just created. And we can right click and flatten this. Let me find out where that is. 1 second. Where the hell is it? Oh, my webcam was covering it. I thought I was tripping. All right, let's flatten that. And once you flatten it, now you can actually double click on, the shapes, and you could delete them. So the bottom half is what I deleted, obviously, but let's go back and do that again. Again, I'm just double clicking on it to enter it, and you're basically just entering the path. And you can honestly just go to the layer palette and delete the bottom path, and you will have just the top, and that's exactly what we want. And for now, we can change the color just so we can kind of see what we're doing with it. But let's go ahead and position it where we want it. And again, I want to, center it, of course. And it's going to look something like this. Now, it's going to look a little off at first. You'll notice it's not going to be perfect, but that's okay. We can fix that in a second. Really easy. And you can also use the arrow keys on your keyboard to nudge it down or whatever. But let's go ahead and resize this top one too. And we're just going to create like the same kind of gap in between, if that makes sense. That looks really good. So I'm actually going to select the banner and the center circle and actually move it in a little bit to create like a thicker gap on the outside, sort of like that. And then we're going to do the same thing for the inner circle, just kind of move it in. I think it needs more of a gap. Now this actually needs to be white to match what we have here. So let's make it white. And then the outer one's going to be, it's actually going to be black. Now under styles, you're going to notice it says stroke. We can actually add a stroke now using that. And you just basically click that little plus icon and you'll see it. And we can make the stroke about 10. That's pretty good. And we need to do the same thing to the inner circle. We need to add a 10 stroke. To make the arc text, it's really simple. We're going to go to insert. So on the top left, click insert. And then at the very bottom, you're going to see creative. And let's click arc. And it's automatically going to add arced text for you. So you're basically ready to go. You just need to resize it. And again, we can use our center alignment options here, center it vertically and horizontally. And I'm going to go ahead and change the font immediately to what I want. And the content. So let's change, what did I say on the left? Creative unit. Okay. So we want to change it to creative unit, all caps, of course, always. And then the font, we are going to choose, I think I used enter for this one, and that looks pretty good. We also want to change the font weight. So I'm going to click on the font again, and we want to make sure the weight is actually black. And to change the letter spacing, you just go down to letter and you can change it right there. You can even change it from pixels to EM. EM's used for more of like website designing, but it's totally fine. You can keep it on that. There you go. Now it doesn't look quite right yet, and there's two issues right now. The text is a little too big, and we also have to change the offset. So let's do that now. We'll take the text size down to like maybe 14, and then we can change the offset and make that fit a little better. As you can see, it's already looking way nicer. And what else do I want to do? Change the font color, right? Let's change that to black. And there we go. We're getting somewhere. We can actually up the font size even a little bit more. Now we can focus the bottom too by just pressing Command C and then Command V. And we just want to change the direction from counterclockwise to clockwise and the font color to white. So we're basically able to see it on the dark background. There we go. We bring it in. And this time, let's change the font to Instrument, which is another font that I really love. Because of the way this font is, I'm just making it one size bigger. So instead of 15, I'm going 16 on the font size. And then we can kind of center it again. Now let's create a custom vector shape just by going to Vector and Path. And let's just create that triangle that I have on the original. So right there, we want to connect it and we can move these in, kind of eyeing it obviously, but you guys get the point. And we want to take the fill and make it white and obviously remove that stroke as well. So let's go ahead and remove it. Now we could duplicate it, flip it. Now we can select these and merge them and then press Command C, Command V. And we have a merge copy and just rotate and put it on top and we are done. And at this point, we can actually use our Pathfinder again to merge all, which is that first option there, as you can see. I don't want them to be too big, but that looks pretty good to me. And the offset for the bottom here is a little off in my opinion. And let's go to icons and we'll just find that globe. It's actually called a meteor, I guess. That's fine. And let's resize it. And actually, I'll just center it immediately. There you go. Now we have a badge. And it was so easy, right? All of the tools that you need are here. You don't have to be a professional designer to use Framer. It's there for you, ready to go. And you know what's unique about it is if you learn it, you can also build websites, which is really cool. And their websites are like insane. I mean, there's templates you can choose from. There's a lot, guys. This video is only scratching the surface on what you can do. You can obviously upload your own, assets if you want to and use those. So really it's up to you kind of how you want to, use the tool, but that's what it is. It's a tool, it's free, and you guys can get a full month of Framer Pro completely free using my code Charlie at checkout or click the link in the description of the video. What do you guys think of Framer as a design tool? Do you like it? Are you going to try it out? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next one.